things. You know, giving up on something because it's not who you are, and giving up on something because you've not tried it hard enough.
Give me a signal, show me a sign that there is a life force within you and I to find a way through to you on the other side. Just give me a signal.
Hello everyone, I want to talk about something that the rest of the industry is just not really talking about. Obviously, those who are providing education, courses, and trying to teach you, how to trade the markets, or anything in life really, any kind of course or education that's trying to push you and encourage you to, to sign up and learn this new skill or craft, they're not going to talk to you about this because obviously they're just more interested in getting you involved and obviously, getting the money that they get from maybe that course or that sign up. But, the reality of it is there's another side of it as well of, is this really who you are? With regards to becoming a Forex trader, is this really who you are or who you say you are? Or are you just committing yourself and doing this simply for maybe a get-rich-quick scheme just to make money because you're seeing, when you go onto Instagram, blue MT4s and you're seeing this lifestyle? Is it that you're trying to shoot for? Are you actually doing this because you're genuinely passionate about it? I've got people, from learning in the last sort of 6 months more so about people since running my course. I've got people in my group that I can just tell instantly and immediately that they just kind of want it. Because when you speak to them and when you pull them up on things and when you say to them, okay, what's your goals, where you're going, what date have you set for those goals, where are you hoping to be in 3 months, they're very much just left in silence. They're not entirely sure what they're doing. They don't know why they're doing it. There's no strong why. When it boils down to it, they're just simply doing it for the money. And what you have to understand is that if you're just coming into this game just for money, someone who's coming into this game for passion and interest and enthusiasm, they're always going to outwork you. They're always going to outwork you because, life is about finding something that you're almost weirdly obsessed with, that you can just quite easily sit for 12 to 14, 16, 18-hour days and do. You forget to eat, you forget to sleep, you forget what time it is, you forget what day it is, because you're so engrossed, because in the task that you're doing, you're so interested and enthusiastic and passionate about it, that you can sit and literally outwork people on it. And unfortunately, we're in an industry nowadays, especially with the youth, this whole entitlement, mentality, where people are coming into the game, seeing someone's destination, not prepared to work and go through the journey to get to a similar destination, and they're in it for the wrong reasons. So I want you to dig deep and ask yourself, are you really doing this for the right reasons? Because I can promise you that anything that you go into just simply for money, you're never going to get, what you're hoping to get. Because if the money isn't coming and things start to slow down or you begin to lose money, you're going to think, do you know what, I can't be arsed, and you're just going to go back to the old you, this old lifestyle, this old job, and whatever it may be. So I want you to dig down and double down on really why you're doing what you're doing. Because the reality of it is the best way to predict someone's next 6 months is to simply look at their previous 6 months. If the last 6 months have just been talk, and not following through on anything and doing everything for the wrong reasons, then guess what? It's likely that the next 6 months are going to be the same thing. So if you've got no real goals, you've got no real strong why, and no dates on those goals, and you're not sticking to those goals, then they're not going to happen, okay? No one's going to knock on your door and, just present opportunity on a silver platter. You have to actually go out and get it yourself and stick to those goals and those dates. And, like with anything else, you need to be someone who is doing the things that you're doing because you want to do it. No one's forcing you to do it. You're not just doing it to pay your bills. You're not just doing it because you want to flex on Instagram. You're actually doing it because you are truly passionate about it. And most importantly as well, it's sticking to it. It's sticking to it and seeing it through. Because again, we're within this generation where it's like shiny object syndrome. We're bouncing from one strategy to the next strategy to the next strategy because it's not, maybe it's not worked for 2 weeks. And therefore, we're looking for that next holy grail, that next strategy, or anything like with businesses, where, the first business fails within 4 weeks, and then we go on to the next business, and the next business, and we become this serial entrepreneur, where we're sticking it in our bios and saying, oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur. When really, what you really need to be doing is finding what your strengths are, doubling down on your strengths, and then outsourcing your weaknesses, not focusing on those. If you're not good at it, then leave it. Because there's a big difference between trying something and, trying to do it and, just choosing to step away from it and not to do that anymore because actually it's not who you are and you don't enjoy doing it. And then there's a big difference between that and then, you know, stepping away from something because you can't get your head around it. You know, there's two very different things. You know, giving up on something because it's not who you are and giving up on something because you've not tried it hard enough. You need to actually go and try it and really kind of, you know, get yourself involved in it before saying, you know what, actually this isn't me. And there's too many people nowadays that are within this Forex industry that are doing it all for the wrong reasons. It's not really who they are, who they say that they are, and they're simply just doing it for money. And, you know, the statistics of failure, when we go onto these broker websites and it says, you know, 78% of clients lose their money, that's because people came, they deposited their money, they tried once, blew their account and never came back. That's the difference. That's really what that statistic is based on. And, you know, the thing is that there's 100 ways on planet Earth or more to make money. You know, Forex isn't the only way that you can make money in your life. There's other businesses, there's working up the corporate ladder, you know, it's whatever you choose to do. But most importantly, you need to be living with, you know, fulfillment. You need to be knowing why you're doing what you're doing, because otherwise, if you're just aimlessly doing it just because it looks fancy, when actually the hard work really starts coming into it, you're gonna just fold, you're gonna just bend, and you know, you're not gonna see it through. So I just want you guys to really ask yourselves, are you actually ready to become a Forex trader? You know, are you ready to commit to this? Are you ready to actually put this discipline in place? Are you ready to cancel your Friday and Saturday night plans to do your analysis? Because, you know, when I'm asking people what they're doing in my group, they're out partying, they're out drinking, you know, and there's me indoors working on behalf of them to ensure that they have a good week next week whilst they're out, you know, making all the wrong decisions. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, what I'm doing today, is this helping me or is this obviously hurting me? You know, the choices that I'm making today, is it aiding me in my future or is it going to prevent and stop my future? So these are the things I want you to start asking yourself. Are you ready for this? Are you stable? You know, what's your financial situation like right now? You know, are you ready to commit to Forex trading if, you know, you're riddled in debt and you still need to pay catch up on your bills? Because this kind of financial pressure is going to cause you to act irrationally. It's going to, you know, make you make desperate decisions and choices. You know, so are you even ready? Are you in a strong, stable situation to actually start thinking, right, this is the journey I'm going to apply myself to. This is the route I'm going to go down. You know, or have you got all these outside pressures and all these financial strains on you right now, which is going to prevent and stop you and force you to make desperate decisions? Because again, it's another thing. I get people in my DMs saying things like, I've got my bills to pay next week, you know, I've lost this, this and this. Or I get people who say, oh, I set 5% per week, you know, I have to make 5% per week. And then obviously the first 2 weeks, they've actually lost 5% per week, so then they're down 10%, and they've still got to make another 20% on top to play catch up for the rest of the month. So they set these stupid percentages on themselves. And it's all, what I'm trying to say is it's all for the wrong reasons. They're just simply doing it for money, and that's it. And when that's the only reason that you're doing something, it's just never really going to go to the full max because you're just not really that passionate about it. So I want you to ask yourself, are you actually ready to become a Forex trader? Are you stable? Can you commit? Are you doing this for the right reasons? You know, or are you just doing it because it's for money? Because, you know, you only want to be going into anything in life when you're truly passionate about it. Start asking yourselves, what can you actually sit there for 14 hours a day and do and never get tired of? Because that's the thing that you need to be focusing on. If it is charts, if it is trading, and you're happy to go through these losses and these pains and go through this whole learning experience and process and journey, then obviously, yeah, you know, crack on with that. Keep moving forwards, start setting those goals, start setting those dates for those goals. But if this isn't really who you say you are, then just start getting truthful with yourself, because there's no point in wasting the next few years doing something all for the wrong reasons. So I hope this video has helped you guys to start trying to think about what you want to do going forwards. And most importantly, start setting those dates and start committing to the goals, especially for the rest of the year. Going into now 2020, where obviously we're going into a new decade and a new year.